Welcome back to Plant Talk. Today we're going to do a whole bunch of propagating, and propagating is so much fun, and there is so many different reasons why you would propagate. One of the reasons why I propagate is to experiment. So I don't always know if a plant can be propagated, so I'll just dive in, I'll give it a cutting, and I'll see if roots will take. I also propagate when I have to get some of the load off of a plant, right? I don't want my mom plant to be suffering and carrying too many babies, so I'll go ahead and propagate for that reason. Another reason why I propagate is sometimes my plants just get too out of control and I have to tame them down. And the last reason why I propagate is just because I want more of that plant. So if you're interested, let's go ahead and propagate. And then we're going to go ahead and propagate this plant. This is my Swiss cheese Monstera. He is just a little baby plant, but we're going to go ahead and propagate him. I only have one of this plant and I want a whole bunch of them. So what you want to do is just come in right next to the leaf and cut it off so there's no wasted energy on this side. And then we'll just trim that down a bit so the cut is right below the node. You propagate a little bit differently. You just go ahead and pull these off so the little babies are on this stem, and you just go ahead and you pull those off of there. And it is that easy to propagate. And it's completely up to you if you leave these shoots on the plant or if you cut them off. Because it is the middle of winter and I don't want to encourage more, I'm going to go ahead and as close to the plant as I can, I'm just going to cut these shoots off so they're not wasting energy. And if I'm being honest, most of the time when I propagate plants, it tends to be an experiment to see if it's going to work. This is a prayer plant, so at nighttime, the leaves will start to curl up and they will close. During the day, the leaves open. So I've never tried to propagate this plant, but one of my favorite things with plants is to see if I can. So what I'm going to do is just see if this propagation works. And I'm going to come in right at this node. No, not that one. This one. I'm going to come in right at this node and I'm going to cut it off right here, and I'm going to see if this can be propagated. So I'm just going to peel that down, cut it off right at the node. Now, even though I cut that off at the node, I don't want to leave that little stem there wasting energy, so I will just cut that off too. Another type of cutting is a stem cutting. So this is my philodendron who's just wild and crazy, so I'm going to go ahead and just give him a little bit of a trim today. You can tell he's just getting stuck on everything here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut right below a leaf. And then we'll have our cutting. Here are our philodendron propagations. And I have this plant on my lap because it's just too tall for my filming right here, but this is a ZZ plant and we're going to go ahead and do a leaf propagation. To do a leaf propagation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut the leaf off as close to the stem as I can. And I'm just going to do that for a couple of leaves. And then here are our ZZ plant leaf propagations. And then we're just going to come in and pop these into the water. Now, it's not always easy because sometimes these propagations have their own personalities. So you got to kind of put them where they will fit. Now for the spider plants, I just kind of bunch them all up, and that's how we get those in there. Now on these ones, I'm going to go ahead and pull off the bottom leaf just to give more. So just go ahead and pull that off. Maybe I'll do 2. Oops, okay. Didn't mean to do that. That is super easy to fix though. We're just gonna cut this off like it never happened. Those leaves just aren't wanting to fall off, so I'll cut them off and then we'll pop this in some water. And this was a little bit of a longer one. What I'm doing is I was just trimming this off a little bit closer to the node so it's not so far. And then the leaves that I'm cutting off, normally you can just pull them off, but this one does not want to let go of its leaves at all. So I'm just coming in and cutting those off so we can get it into the water. And I feel like this might just be too long to go in here, so I'm going to cut that off. And there are all of your propagations. So what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and find these a home. So I'm going to put it somewhere where it gets some light. As the water starts to go down, I'll just fill it back up. I know that you're supposed to change the water out, and I would be a better plant parent if I did, but I don't always do that. I just add more water to it, and in about 4 to 6 weeks, I will see where these are. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button.